Hi, good evening, guys. A very good evening to our audience here tonight. I'm Joshua from PhillipCapital, partnership department. Today with us tonight, we actually have Zac. So Zac, we'd like to just give a wave first. Yeah. Okay. Partnership department. We are actually who are we? We are actually a department that takes care of the wealth managers, the advisors, the portfolio managers in PhillipCapital. So for tonight's webinar, right? So do feel free to actually use the Q&A function that you actually see below your screen or on top of the screen to send over any questions that you might have throughout the webinar, and then we will actually have a Q&A session towards the end to actually answer them. So I'm really glad to have all of you joining us tonight in our PhillipCapital career webinar. So we have a special guest, which is Zac. Okay, he is one of our senior financial services director, and also he is one of our very consistent top performers as well. So he will be sharing with us tonight on the topic of seeking a purpose-driven success, and of course with the right partners. Okay, so before we dive into Zac's sharing, I think it would be good for me to give some background and context about PhillipCapital on the scale and the capacity of the business and financial solutions that we offer to our clients as well. So a lot of you might actually know PhillipCapital more for our stockbroking services. So if I can see over here, more for our stockbroking services, and more so our app, which is called Poems. Okay, but we are actually way beyond that. We are way beyond stockbroking. So for you to actually have a sense on the scale of business that we operate in, let me share with you this. PhillipCapital, we actually have global presence in 15 countries. We trade in over 26 stock exchanges. More than 2,000 fund selection that we offer to our clients, okay, and working with more than 35 insurer partners, okay, in Singapore, totaling to more than 40,000 financial products. Thus, we are proud to say PhillipCapital is definitely your partner in finance. So as mentioned, we have a strong global presence, which also means we are not confined to just local clients. Okay, in fact, we are an integrated financial house with a global reach. Okay, this will actually show you, some of the global locations that PhillipCapital actually operate in. So, when joining PhillipCapital, okay, this will also mean giving clients a much stronger confidence when they actually decide whether to engage our representatives as we are managing more than 35 billion USD assets worldwide, more than 1 million clients, and we are also having strong shareholder funds, which is in excess of 1.5 billion USD. So this makes it very easy, for clients to actually entrust us with their assets. Okay, and apart from having global presence, we also have gone personal into the heartlands of Singapore. So connecting ourselves and making ourselves accessible across the island. Okay, we have 14 Phillip Investor Centers in Singapore, which out of a few which have actually been franchised out to actually our representatives. So what you are seeing over here, the next slide, what you're seeing here are actually the investor centers that has been franchised out in Westgate, Tai Seng, and Bukit Timah to actually give more connectivity for our representatives to our clients. Okay, other than our corporate setup, we have also, so what are the products that we actually offer? So to categorize the products that we actually offer, we categorize them into 3 main groups. But more importantly, right, these categories also represent how our client usually use our services and how they actually grow with us. So what do I mean? How do they grow with us? Okay, I will not go through each and every individual product that we have here, but more importantly, right, this actually shows you how clients choose to interact with us throughout the different stages. So for example, in transactional products on the left corner, on the left column that you see, okay, clients will like to let's say, for example, when we first start up, clients might be new to you, they do not know you well. So how? They would like to transact or manage independently by themselves. It's okay, because we have all these services that or products that we have over here. Okay, so on the left-hand side, transactional. So as we move along the way, they get to know you better. They like to actually have some advice, before they decide. And we have those as well in the advisory column that you see in the middle. Then, of course, there are those clients who actually have strong confidence in you, with longer time interacting with you. They will actually like their assets to be professionally managed by you as well. Thus, we actually have the discretionary column. So no matter which stage your client relationship is with you, okay, we will have something crafted out for them, which is suited to their, their appetite and also to their preference as well. So most of the time, I will have people coming up to me and asking me, so does it mean that I can join PhillipCapital and offer them those services that I've actually mentioned here? Well, the answer is yes or no. Yes and no. Okay, why do I say that? Okay, PhillipCapital is actually one of the rare few companies that have all these license under one roof. So there will actually be different licenses required for each of the category that I just mentioned before this. Okay, for example, transactional products, you will actually require, for example, a trading representative license for this line of products. For advisory, you actually require a financial advisory license for you to actually service your clients with these offerings. And for discretionary products, you actually require a fund management license to become a portfolio manager. So most of the firms out there in the industry, they are focused on only having one type of license. So here's the good news. In PhillipCapital, we house all three licenses. So what's even better? Okay, we can actually equip our representatives with dual license. Okay, so what does dual license mean to you? It actually helps our representatives to provide a much wider range of services to their clients, which not many firms out there in the market can offer. So for example, if you look at the left-hand side, right, we can offer, when dual license is actually in play, okay, we can offer transactional and advisory services and solutions to the clients. Okay, that's what you see over here. FATR, it means financial advisory license and trading representative. Okay, what other kind of dual license can we actually hold? We can also offer in the middle column that you can see, we can offer advisory and discretionary, which means that you can now hold advisory license and also fund management license at the same time. It helps you to actually scale up your business. Okay, we can also offer smooth transition of trading representative from stockbroking to fund management as well. Yeah, so these are the things that PhillipCapital can offer. So the next question, what's the advantage of having dual license? Well, firstly, your clients will actually benefit from a wider range of solution products. And secondly, this will also mean when you actually have dual license, as a rep, we can actually have multiple streams of income, because right now we are offering more things to the clients. Okay, to give you a better illustration in terms of the numbers of dual license. Okay, this table actually shows the income stream of our reps. The first two rows actually show single license representative. Okay, and the third column on the bottom actually shows a representative holding a dual license. So it has been, just throughout the years, right, it has been consistent, showing in our records, right, that dual license representative actually do have consistently higher income because they have more services offered to the clients. Yeah, so this is actually the infrastructure and the services offered in PhillipCapital. Okay, but what about the infrastructure and the support in terms of other than the structure and the products or the license that PhillipCapital has? Okay, in terms of infrastructure and support, we do have a unique CRM. I think CRM, a lot of you are very familiar, client relationship management. We actually built an ecosystem for this. So this is actually an ecosystem built for our reps. Okay, we like to adopt a method called marketing funnel methodology. So in traditional market, right, how a lot of advisors in the market or representatives in the market, they do the entire sales process or advisory process. They start off with a lead. Then after they close them, become their customer, and then they become their promoters or referrers, what we call that. In PhillipCapital, we like to go further up before into the funnel, and we like to start with something called stranger. So what are strangers? Strangers is actually the the universe of the audience that could potentially become your client. So from a stranger, we slowly convert them to become a visitor. And now, more importantly, instead of just a normal lead, they are now qualified and filtered leads. Okay, so how does this ecosystem do, or how is it designed to help our advisors? It serves 4 functions. Okay, the first function, we will attract the universe of audience from a stranger to a visitor. Now they know who you are. Okay, then after that, once knowing who you are, we'll convert them. So knowing who you are, actually, I like what you have been saying. I like to know more. So now they become a qualified lead. Thereafter, we have functions in place to help you close your clients, to actually give them the solutions. Not stopping there. Okay, we do not stop there. We will promote you and your services to their network, which means that right now it becomes an entire cycle. Okay, so how do we actually attract visitors to us? Okay, in the market we usually see ads. Okay, in such times, we social media is a need. Okay, but on top of ads, there are other ways to actually profile you and bring your presence to your clients. Later, we'll go more into that. Okay, but to add on to the social media presence that we have, we also do regular webinars, market journals. Okay, if you can see over here, we have this thing called a finance feed. Pardon the acronyms and the jargons. Finance Feed is actually our integrated financial health assessment tool for potential clients to actually do a self-check on their current financial health. So this will also be one of the ways that clients get to know you. TTP page that you see over here, it actually stands for Talk to Phillip. Okay, what is it? Okay, it is actually a digital name card. But more importantly than a digital name card, it's actually an online platform where advisors can get direct account opening, direct order placement. Clients can actually choose to go digital to using our advisors' unique landing page. Okay, and the inquiry, the lead, the sales goes direct to our representative. So what does it mean? It means you're actually using companies' resources to direct traffic to your own individual page. Okay, other than that, we have Match Me. So previously, I actually mentioned, we have various kind of products. We have different licenses required to do, various solutions and services to our clients. So what if I do not hold that license, or what if other colleagues in the company do not hold the license? We can actually do a matching. Okay, for those who actually have the license to actually service the clients. Okay, so this is what we actually do as internal matching as well. So we will actually, once we actually get to know you better, there will actually be an engagement module, which is the Finance Feed and Talk to Phillip page, where clients can actually engage you better and then say, hey, I'd like to know more. So once they actually want to know more, we also have modules in place for for closure, be a face-to-face closure module, and these modules can also be used for online closure modules, because nowadays it could be face-to-face, it could be online. We serve both. Okay. Other than that, what do we mean by Delight? We actually have apps to keep customers updated on their portfolio and to carry out servicing function, which means after sales care and servicing. But after placing everything here, the key module actually comes in here, which is the lead management module. This helps to gel everything they see over here together. It helps our representatives to be guided and be aware of where their engagement are with their potential clients are in the entire funnel. It helps them to keep track of where the individual leads are, what to do with each of them at different stage, because at different stage you will require different actions. Okay, it's a very powerful module because it helps representatives to be organized and focused. It integrates everything together, and more importantly, it helps to give customer a very pleasant experience when dealing with our advisors. Okay, but of course, everything putting in place for all this to work well, they need to have certain competency to deliver, the nice experience. Therefore, a training app is actually incorporated to actually pick up relevant gaps in, the delivery process, the performance. It can be a targeted training in areas where our representatives could be lacking in. So it's not a blanket training that everybody goes to. It's actually a targeted training where, what is my actually weaker area for us to close up the gap. So this particular page actually shows all the modules that PhillipCapital has developed throughout the years, for our representatives to use. So, our advisors can actually, use this web-based app or a mobile app to actually have a glance of what their customers actually have. And we are not forgetting our clients. Our clients can also have access to the portfolio using the apps here as well. Yeah. So on top of the infrastructure, the support of how to carry out the business, we are also very focused in branding and marketing initiatives. We at a company level, corporate level capacity will do up, collaterals like videos for our advisors, to be placed on media platforms that I've actually mentioned earlier. So advisors do not need to engage, production house on their own for this. This helps to showcase and profile advisors from the company's main page. So advisors, what they need to do is just to share it out from there. So advisors do not need to create something, produce it themselves, self-post on their own page, and then, share it out again. Just share it out from our corporate page. The positioning, the awareness is so much better, because in this time and age, you must ask yourself this question: are you searchable online? Okay, because when people meet you now, they will go back to search for you. What are your credentials? What are other people talking about you on? So this is our Talk to Phillip page. Okay, your clients are actually able to leave testimonials for you. You'll be able to show what are your professional accolades down here are. So it really serves right now as a social resume, for our advisors as well. Yeah. So on top of all these things that we actually shared with you on a corporate capacity, we are also very focused on training, as what I mentioned just now. So we do have, in terms of training, we do have an in-house training journey mapped out for first year, when people first join us. So don't have to worry so much. And there are various checkpoints in place to ensure proper learning. So our training is also designed to map out in such a way that it gives proper progression and skills required throughout your journey here in PhillipCapital. Right now, I still do really have a lot more to share, because as I mentioned, we have a wide range of solutioning, but we like to keep this within an hour. And tonight, we have with us, a very experienced director, and we would like to pick his brains and soak up as much as we can from him today. So I'd like to bring you to the speaker for tonight. Okay, he's Zac. So Zac actually, let me give you a brief background introduction about Zac before I pass it to him. So Zac actually joined the financial industry 12 years ago, but before that, he was actually in the defense technology for 8 years. Okay, he's a very smart guy. He's a first-class honors in engineering. As well, he's also a master's in computer science from NUS MIT. So throughout his journey in the financial industry, right, he has garnered top accolades to his name. He has actually 12 qualifying and lifetime MDRT member under his name. If you're aware, I think this is MDRT is a very common award that you actually hear in this industry. But he is also consistently for the past 5 years a court of the table member achievement as well. For those who do not know what is court of the table, if you know MDRT, court of table is actually 3 times the requirement or the achievement for MDRT. So he's consistently for the past 5 years a court of the table member. Okay, and throughout his journey here in Phillip, he has also built a team of highly experienced specialists from various finance-related roles and backgrounds. So with them, right, they actually manage a 9-figure, I would say again, a 9-figure asset under management for their clients, from young families to ultra high net worth. So let us welcome, tonight, Zac to share more with us, how he found his purpose-driven success, and more importantly, with the right partners. So Zac, to you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Joshua, for that introduction. And good evening, everybody who's attending this webinar. So I'm Zac. So I'm just going to kickstart this presentation with a poll, right? So Jasmine, can you? Yeah. Okay. So let's do this poll. Take about a few minutes to think through the answers. Which response actually appeal to you the most. Okay, what is success that you aspire towards? Just choose one, okay? I know there can be multiple right answers to you, but I just would like you to just choose one that appeals to you the most. So is it purpose and fulfillment in what you do? So that could include things like controlling over your own time to spend with your family, or choosing to work with the clients you like. Or is it everyone wins? What does that mean? It's like if you see the stakeholders around you winning together with you, is that success to you? So do we have everyone submitted the poll already? Okay. All right. So I guess. Okay, so most of the people here are looking at making a decent living and purpose and having that purpose and fulfillment in what you do. Great. Okay, so I will circle back to this poll later on in my presentation. Okay, so recently I came across this LinkedIn post. I'm not sure whether any one of you actually noticed this LinkedIn post by DPM Lawrence Wong. He talked about the definition of success for Singapore as a whole. Right. So my 3 key takeaways, from this, from his sharing is that number 1, success is a very personal thing. Okay, so it is about having a purpose and fulfillment in what we do. Okay, and this purpose, it can vary, among different people, right? So the second thing is success is not a destination. It is definitely an ongoing journey, guided by a clear purpose towards continuous growth. And the third thing, he mentioned about this collective shared story. So this is, to me, is really about, having everyone wins. So to be honest, it really took me some time to really understand what that is all about. Okay, but I've come to realize that, sharing the journey with the right partners, partners who share the same values and a common goal with you, makes it all the more meaningful when, everyone wins together. So, So DPM LinkedIn post really resonated with me a lot as I reflected on my own journey in terms of pursuing my success from right after my graduation until now. So let me elaborate a bit more as I take you through my journey. So I consider myself pretty blessed actually. So I did well enough to secure 2 scholarships. And because of the scholarships, I was actually already given a job, before I graduated. So if you recall, during that period, in 2002, 2003, there was a time, right after the .com bubble burst. And shortly after, we had the 911 incident where the Twin Tower were, crashed into by aeroplanes. And then we have SARS. So things were very uncertain at that point in time. So many of my peers were in fact, worrying about securing a job after graduation, but I was the lucky one. But this actually didn't. It wasn't really a blessing, in hindsight. Why do I say that? Okay, so because of all this, the job that was really offered to me, I was actually set in a very much a comfort zone, right? So, in fact, I recall at that time, I shut my mind out of other career possibilities. I have headhunters calling up and then asking me whether I want to explore, career opportunities. So I just tell them that no, I'm really bonded, So I was just so absorbed into this daily grind, that I didn't really feel I was working for a passion and a purpose as well. So I was just working for someone and just doing my job. I spent my first 5 years as a computer engineer, and then later on got promoted to become a project manager. And the next 3 years, I got out my scholarship bond, and I actually started working for a US MNC, doing IT technical sales, so covering Asia Pacific. I was doing actually quite okay, fairly contented. I was able to afford a car like a lot of aspiring young executives, right? I was able to own my own apartment and get married, all through my own means. But I don't find a lot of meaning in what I was doing at that point in time. So in 2010, So in 2010, a uni friend came, who just joined the industry. He approached me. So he approached me to share about financial planning. It was quite a reluctant meeting at first, because at that time I was thinking, yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to sell, what he's trying to sell to me. So that was the kind of impression that I have of a financial advisor. But because he's a friend, so I decided, okay, I should at least just meet up with him and give him a chance to share with me what he was doing. So through that meeting, actually, I was very thankful, because the fact is that, it actually started me thinking really hard about the importance of financial planning and why it matters to everyone. And because through financial planning, it really gives a sense of purpose, to the dollars and cents. So it gives clarity to clients, over the goals behind their financial journey. So I started to understand, what financial planning is all about. So this uni friend of mine, he didn't just stop at sharing with me about financial planning, right? So he also got me thinking about making a career. So at the time, my immediate response to him was, no way, why should I? Because at the time, I was actually making a decent, 6-figure paycheck. And for me to give up all of that, to start from ground zero, it's really quite a daunting thought to me at that point in time. And especially in this industry, you all know that everything is commission-based. You don't get a base pay. Of course, in today's context, you do have allowance package and all that. But by and large, when I first started, everything was commission-based. So I don't get paid for anything. So at the time, I still have a mortgage to pay. I have a car loan to service, and even if I really wanted to join, I didn't think I could convince my wife at that time. And in fact, I just got married, for 2 years. So everything was, you have to try to caution, right? Because you just got married, you have to, respect your wife's views about things. Yeah. So, but at the same time, I also saw how my friend managed to establish himself in this profession. He had meaningful conversations with his clients over their lives and finances. And I saw real value in doing that. And I thought, if he can do it, then surely I can do it as well. So that was just a lingering thought at that point in time. It took me, but I did continue to, just continue and explore the industry. Yeah. So so at that point in time, the thought just lingered on, but it didn't really, give me that push, to take that leap of faith until this one fine day, as we were parting ways with this uni friend at the train station. So I was about to board the train. Then he suddenly just asked me, you get to see your parents much when you were growing up? That was the question he asked me. So it really hit me, because I didn't so I didn't really answer him at that point in time. So I just hopped on. But the truth is, when I was growing up, my parents were always out, working, to make ends meet, to put food on the table and send us to school. So we have very little time to connect and bond. So I asked myself this question: do I want to be, spending more time away from home and to build my IT sales career at that point in time? The answer was very clear. It was a clear no, because I know that in order to do that, I will have to really, commit a lot of time to network more, and perhaps to fly around more, and and commit and just devote a lot of my time to work. So I didn't have any kids at that point in time yet. But I told myself I'm not going to miss out on my kids growing up years. So I want to be a part of their lives as they grow up. So the decision became very clear that I had to make some changes. So that was when I actually told my uni friend that, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So I took a leap of faith, and I started on this journey, being a financial planner, equipped with a conviction. And this conviction is about helping people to benefit from professional help, helping them to be clear about their goals and purpose in life, and to align their finances to support those goals. So that's a kind of conviction that I carried with me in my first year. So I worked very hard, with a motivation to establish myself in the business as quickly as possible, because at the time, I needed to prove myself to my wife, to my family, that this is the right decision that I made. So I started with my network of friends, and former business associates. basically anybody, whose name appear in my phone or in the stack of business cards that I have, I will call them up, and share with them my new venture. So it was a very humbling experience and it was tough work, but I persevered because I knew the purpose I was working for, which is to be able to control the time I spend with my children in future. So in 2011, I was actually very fortunate that I have a lot of trusted clients who actually placed business with me. They trusted my advice and they took my advice, implemented them, and it allowed me to really achieve my very first MDRT qualification just within the first year of my practice. And it was very significant to me actually, not so much because of the recognition, but it was like a report card to my family members, right? And it also gave me the confidence that, I could actually sustain myself to continue to serve my clients who place their trust in me. So I did, manage to match up with my previous income just within the first year, doing what, doing all the hard work and just making sure that I persevere throughout. So I was also motivated enough, to further improve myself. Okay, because I do want to, add greater value to my clients. So I actually took on the Certified Financial Planner. So the Certified Financial Planner education. So this is a worldwide professional qualification. If you're not aware of what this is, it prescribes a very structured framework, for us, for financial advisors to, help clients understand their goals in life and also to map out the financial plan to help them to realize those goals. So over the next 4 years, I continue to work and continue to do well over the next 4 years. It was quite an immense sense of fulfillment and gratitude, when I start to see, clients referring their friends and families to me. It was almost like a vote of confidence, from these clients. And in fact, some of those friends that I approached initially, they took some time to warm up to the idea of working with friends. So they also started taking out advice from me years later. So it's this kind of positive anecdotes that really push me to continuously seek ways to add value. And all this while, I know all these things that I'm working towards is actually for a greater purpose, right? So in 2015, I attended a talk by a top investment advisor in my firm at the time. He was invited to share about his journey. So his business model is very unique, okay? Because for this investment advisor, he doesn't do insurance at all. He only focuses purely on managing his clients' money. It was a path that is not really, commonly taken by a lot of advisors, especially after global financial crisis in the 2007 and 2008. A lot of advisors actually lost confidence, to ask clients to invest their money. So when I attended the talk, I was actually very inspired. It gave me a new passion, a passion that I want to be able to step up my game in terms of investing my clients' money. And so that actually triggered me to really think about, how I should be fine-tuning my practice model to one that is not just based on my conviction in financial planning only, but also to align with my passion in investing. So, and a lot of times when you attend, seminars or talks, how many times do we actually just walk away from a talk instead of picking up the courage to connect with the speaker, whom we resonated with, right? So I actually did that many times. Usually, I would just walk away from the talks, even though I feel something that, that is prompting me to step up, to talk to the speaker about it. That day, after the talk, actually I did pick up the courage. And he was this mentor, or rather this top investment advisor. He was actually many years my senior. So we connected. I was at that time really seeking a mentor to wanting to fine-tune my practice model, okay, to be able to make sure that my clients' monies are invested well in good hands. So for him, he was actually looking to build continuity into his practice. And what does that mean? He was actually looking for somebody to, to be able to take care of his client's money when he's no longer around. whether he has retired from the industry or, or something, or because of other reasons. So there was actually a match. He was the right partner for me to work with. And to him, maybe, he wasn't sure whether I was the right partner, but he took, he actually took a chance on me, and we started to develop a working relationship from there. So, and through this working relationship, actually, he introduced me to his network of advisors whom he had brought into the industry. And these advisors are actually his friends and past clients whom he had journeyed with for decades. And they're all very open to share their investment knowledge, So by being part of this, by having this relationship with this mentor, the door was actually open for me to really meet up with a lot of individuals who are very experienced and very knowledgeable about investments, and that really helped me in my journey, to becoming a better investment advisor for my clients. So I benefited a lot from this relationship. And I also saw how my mentor built a network of relationships in the industry to support his work for his clients. It was really an eye-opening experience, just walking alongside him, experiencing the kind of work he does, for his clients. So my practice also took off from a plateau to the next level. And in 2017, I also decided that, I need to pursue an education, to really brush up on my credential. Yeah. All this while, if you look at my credential, I was an engineering graduate, and I studied computer science, so I have no finance degree at all. So I knew that, in order for me to be able to provide greater value, I need to take on something that is more relevant, a professional qualification that is more relevant to what I intend to do, which is to build an investment business. So that's what I did. I pursued a chartered financial analyst education. It was a very rigorous curriculum that I ever signed up for. So my 3 years of hard work from 2015 to 2017 really paid off when I earned the charter in 2017. So 2017 was also the year where my daughter arrived. Yeah, so this is my daughter. I know she looks like a boy, but trust me, she's a girl. Okay, so yeah, and she arrived. She's the purpose and reason why I started this journey in the first place. So naturally, I was very drawn, to wanting to spend more time with her, and that's what I did. Yeah, and that was a period of time when I truly experienced, how the career actually allowed me to control how and when I want to spend my time between family and work. And I'm also very thankful that because of this mentorship that I received, through my mentor, I saw a breakthrough in my career. And I did my first COT in 2018, and that was 3 times production requirements for MDRT, as what Joshua had mentioned earlier. It wasn't a target that I set for myself, but it's more of an outcome, of keep going on a journey with a passion and conviction. And most importantly, this time around, I had a mentor, a right partner to share the journey with. So then came 2020, COVID strikes. Okay, so COVID struck. And it was the worst of times, but also the best of times. I think most people will probably attest to that. It was a time when we are all forced to be housed in, within the confines of our residences, right? And it can be quite a I don't know. I mean, different people have different set of experience, but for me, it was it was the best times of my life because I get to see my daughter, 24/7, see her grow and see her, attend dance classes, over Zoom, yeah, those sort of things. So that was actually something that is very reaffirming in terms of the purpose and decision that I made 8 years ago at the time, and that's how that's how I saw this as the best of time. And on the business side, it was also the best of time because it reinforces a conviction that I had about financial planning and why insurance is so important, for every single person, right? Because COVID was such an uncertainty. There wasn't a cure at that time. There wasn't a vaccine. People were basically living through very tough times. So there was a time when I really experienced that kind of affirmation. So in 2021, as Singapore gradually reopened, it was time. It was time for my mentor and myself, to formally start a team. And this was an idea that we had, since for some time, at that point in time. We wanted to start a team together, to share the same journey together and to pursue a story of shared success, okay, with like-minded advisors. And that was the objective that we set out to do. So we came over to Phillip Securities and very thankful for the partnership, support from them. They made the whole transition very smooth for us, and we got a lot of support from them in terms of onboard transferring our clients over. So we spent 2 years from 2021. In 2021, in 2022, we spent the 2 years, to settle in as a team. Now, of course, the whole circle of advisors that I was introduced to by Ken, all of us actually came over, and we went through the rite of passage of teaming, forming, and norming. Yeah, so we were also going through a process of learning and discovering ways of working together as a team. Now that we've come together as one, and on becoming better together, and this is and to seek out areas of growth. So this year, we are ready to start expanding the team, and which is why I'm here today. We set out to speak to like-minded advisors who believe in sharing a journey with the right partners to build not just a success story but also a shared one. So we are focused on building and strengthening a community of like-minded advisors so they can offer continuity to our clients, down the generation. So we are also committed, okay, to work with mid-career, or rather, people who are thinking about a mid-career switch, pretty much like myself, and as well as younger advisors who, fresh from school, who are aspiring to build an investment-focused business. So we want to be able to offer mentorship and guidance, just like how I've actually benefited from that mentorship in the past many years, to help these advisors in this shared journey ahead. So we call ourselves the right partners, right? So now you might be wondering, why is it, capitalized in this manner where we emphasize on the letter S? The reason is actually very simple. Okay, it's mainly to tell people that it's not just one of us, but many of us. We are not an individual. We are a team of advisors to our clients. Okay, to make sure that we can, continue the journey with them, even beyond their generation, with the next generation. So we are also the right partners. We aspire to be the right partners to one another among the advisors within the team, building up and encouraging one another in this journey. So, and lastly, we are also aspiring to be the right partners with our business partners, Phillip, and a lot of the other business partners in the financial advisory industry, with a strong commitment to grow. And in doing all of this, what we believe in is really to create a win-win-win partnership where everyone wins, right? The clients have to win first, and all the advisors have to win. And of course, we want to, make sure that our business partners are also taken care of in this whole setup. So Ken, this is my mentor. Just allow me to share very briefly about his background. Okay, so he was the one who actually who I connected with in 2015. And he was an inspiration in terms of his passion and conviction in what he does. So I was just, while preparing for, I've been hearing his stories quite a fair bit. Now, while preparing for this presentation, actually, I did ask him, what is it that triggered you to make this move? Because it always intrigued me. He started the FA business at age 40, but prior to that, he was actually an FX dealer. He has worked for private banks as a private banker, and he was even a .com startup investor. And in fact, before he even started his full-time career, while he was still studying, he was a prudential agent. And he actually did very well in all those areas of his work. So I was very amazed by, how he was able to carry that passion and conviction in what he does, through the years. And of course, when he switched to FA business, his main motivation was because he wanted to bury his children around, who was very young at that point in time. And yeah, so I just felt that it was very much, there's a lot of similarities in terms of the purpose that he has with the purpose that I have as well. So at that time, he was also perhaps the first few advisors to start a specialization in just investment business. So at that time, unit trust was the main vehicle for helping clients to invest. Okay, and at that time, nobody actually wants to do that. Very few advisors actually are very keen on doing this part of the business, because it's a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of time to build up your investment volume, and you don't see immediate results. So according to Ken, he was telling me that he worked the hardest for his first 3 years in this industry for very little, compared to his past endeavors. So for Ken, he really saw it very differently when he started doing this business. He was very committed about business, and he saw it as a very viable long-term business that can keep his passion going. And of course, as the investment volume grows, it becomes an annuity business. It becomes almost like a very sustainable way of generating income for yourself, and yet be able to continue to keep you keep your passion going by helping your clients, doing the right things for your clients and making a difference in terms of managing their portfolios. So that is him. And for me, we came together. So the two of us, we are currently leading the team, the right partners. So as Joshua mentioned, this is our clientele. So we manage in total a nine-figure assets under advice. So that's in the order of more than 100 million. So allow me to also, just introduce my team, because this is the part that's important. It's a journey that's shared with so many of them, and I'm very thankful for every single one of them, because without them, this journey is really going to be very different. So this is Ken, myself, Henry. Henry is a very long-time friend, ex-business, ex-colleague of Ken, who Ken brought in. Albert, also a long-standing friend, and Teddy. And the three of them, including this lady over here, Ariel, they were all introduced to Ken, or rather, they were either friends of Ken or they were introduced to Ken. So they came into this industry with various purpose and reasons. And I will share a bit more about that in a bit. Okay, so we also have James, is a bit small over here. Are you able to see my mouse, Joshua?
Not really.
Oh, not really. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should use a laser pointer. Yeah, so James over here. Let me just go back in. Ken, myself, Henry. This is Albert. This is Teddy. Ariel, the four of them. Okay, they were either friends of Ken or they were actually referred to him. So they came in, for various reasons. We have James. James will join us, from Phillip Investor Center. And this young gentleman over here, Brian, he joined the industry as a fresh grad. He was one of those that, we have been working together for a long time, and finally he came on board, transitioning from a previous FA firm to PhillipCapital, to come together as a team. Now, this photo was taken as one of our key partners, as in like, so we have very close working relationship with them. In fact, we have journeyed with this partner for I think more than a decade, for maybe 2 decades or so. And we have seen a change of at least 3 to 4 CEOs, and the relationship with them is still so strong. So okay, so you can see that, the various diverse background that all of us have. Okay. We have Teddy, who was previously working for a sovereign wealth fund, and then he became a prop trader and a hedge fund manager, and even took on the role of private banking investment counselor. So when he came into this industry, when he was contemplating coming into this industry, at that point in time, it was, the banking sector was going through a very volatile period. There were a lot of regulations, changes, and all that. He wanted to seek stability, and he wanted to also be able to, be with his kids because they were all growing up very fast. So he didn't want to miss out the growing up years of his kids, just like me. So when he came in, he was in his mid-40s, a lot of experience, very knowledgeable in terms of what he does. And and he has established himself in this business for the past many years. Henry, he was a managing director previously of a bank, of a major bank, and he was actually on the verge of becoming a full-time counselor because that was a passion that he truly subscribes to. He wanted to be a counselor, reaching out to people and helping them, sharing his life experiences and to help them along in life. When Ken approached him, and shared with him the idea of why not put his financial markets knowledge and skills to good use by being in this career, it actually latched on him, and he took, he took the the offer, or rather the proposition offered by Ken, and he came on board. And because he believed that, by using his knowledge, he's still able to, this gave him the capacity and the put him in the right position to really engage with people, with his clients, and to be able to touch their lives in a different way. So, and that will help him, in a way, it helps him to fulfill his aspiration to be a counselor as well. So Brian, he came in as a fresh grad. So he has been in this industry for more than 10 years, and now he has 2 kids, young kids, and he's able to spend a lot of time with them because of this industry. So I just want to perhaps emphasize on a few key things, right? The first thing is, it's never too late to join. If you look at the mix of a team, we have people coming in at age 30s like me, or rather fresh grad, like Brian. And then for me, I came in my early 30s. Ken came in at age 40. A few of them came in in mid 40s, and then there are some who came in at 50s. So there's really never too late age to join this industry. The second thing is really in terms of diversity, in terms of the background, the experience, the knowledge, So it's really, the team really has a diversity. The only thing that we lack, is the number of girls in the team. Unfortunately, right now we only have 1 girl in the team who was a former private banking investment counselor, by the way. Okay, so almost all of them, on the team has a very decorated past career, and yet they are very willing and very open to share, their expertise and their experience with this. This guided by this purpose to really, to be the right partners, okay, to their clients and to fellow advisors, and as well as to business partners. So how do we build and strengthen one another in this journey? So obviously, because of COVID, everybody start to tilt towards convenience, right? So we do a lot of Zoom meetings where we don't just do Zoom meetings, to talk about business only. We always start off with sharing of our gratitude, for the little things in our lives, right? And that is really a chance for for every one of us to really share, or rather take a peek into the lives of other advisors, and to understand the dynamics in their lives. Now, of course, we also move on to talk about, to discuss about the markets. We exchange views and we share opportunities and ideas. We also often get invited to fund managers, because of the strong working relationship that we have with the industry partners. So we get invited to fund managers talks, symposiums, to really understand the market views out there, and and the market views can be so diverse out there. And through all these sessions, we do get a very broad overview of what are the different set of views out there, and we discuss as a team, to formulate our own respective decisions in terms of managing the client's portfolio. Yeah, so some of these events are more closed door. It's a very up close and personal session with the fund manager or the fund specialist, and we get to really grill them over their fund strategies, their thoughts about the markets obviously in a friendly way. Yeah. So usually it's over food and drinks. Now we also do, have a lot of ad hoc sessions where we come together in small groups. We'll just call up, arrange a time, a date, and to list out those things that we want to discuss as a group. Mainly to talk about business and also, to talk about, the areas of growth that we can focus on. So these two that you're seeing here, these are taken at Ken's place. Yeah, so Henry and myself, we were there, to talk about business, and we also share our lives, through this kind of very informal, very casual way of, bonding and mingling, right? So Brian and myself, we also had a few sessions there, and we also have big groups. So this one was actually held over at my place. It was and in fact, I invited one of our business partner, Joey, this lady over here, and one of the candidates, to really experience how it's like, the culture of the team, and to be a part of this, this very casual way of bonding session where we really get to know one another, over wine and dine. And by the way, these two bottles, they were given to me, by one of the business partners and for my birthday, and I thought it was quite extravagant of them. So instead of just indulging myself, so I actually just invited everyone to come over, to share and share in the 2 bottles of wine. So we also, do activities, healthy activities like, doing through walks along green corridor. So these are not just to, experience each other's hobbies, but also really a time for bonding and really getting to know each other. Because as the right partners to one another, I think this is a very important element that that we really believe in, to be able to get into the lives of one another, to to really encourage and strengthen one another in this journey, whether it's in the areas of our personal life or career. So we also do remember to support one another in celebrations like this, okay, not just for achievement, but also for major life events like children's getting married and all that. So now going back to the poll, okay, so to me, success is really everything of this. It's a bit of everything of all this. Through my journey, I get to experience bits and pieces of each of this, and I can't say that if you were to ask me to put the most significance, the one with the most significance, I would say, perhaps the purpose and fulfillment in what I do, right? Because this is how I started, and this is how I foresee that will continue to carry me through in this career. And by coming together as a team, joining this team, I also started to appreciate, what it really means to what it really means by having everyone wins, right? So it's really about building and strengthening a community, okay, of like-minded advisors who are going out there to make sure everyone wins, right? The clients have to win, the advisors have to win, and the partners, business partners will have to win as well. So now that you have a glimpse of how success in this industry may be like, and you may be asking, so where should I start on this journey, right? So if you are an in-industry practitioner, you can drop me a message and we can connect, can start to speak about, to first understand what you're looking for, okay? Now, if you are considering a mid-career switch or the fresh graduate, totally new to this profession, so perhaps the next few slides will give you a bit of idea, of how you can start and where you can start. Now let's start with the work we do. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but essentially, even though PhillipCapital, our strength really lie in the investment solutions and offerings that we have, But we actually do much more than that, because we are a full-fledged financial advisory firm. So I'm just going to lay out the full spectrum of services and the work we do for our clients. From making sure the most basic principle of managing their cash flow well, to ensure they have a positive cash flow, they're not in debt, to building a safety net. So that will include making sure that they have proper insurance in place, to take care of contingencies in life. And with these two in place, then we can talk about really investing their wealth, their money, to accrue towards their nest egg, to offer them the financial means to achieve the life goals that they want, be it to retire comfortably, or to send their children for education, or or maybe to upgrade their lifestyle. Okay, so for the more senior clients among our clientele, they are very focused on these two parts, where preserving wealth is very important, because they don't have the time horizon, the complete time horizon, the full time horizon to really take on a lot of risks. So preserving wealth is important. And many of them, they will start to think about, leaving behind a legacy, in the sense of a charity work, charitable giving and all that. Okay, so I'm also going to cover a few success factors, which you might already probably have really picked up a few. So, okay, the success factors to really, to find meaning in this career. Okay. So number one is purpose, passion, and conviction, which we covered quite extensively. Hard work, okay, is irreplaceable. It's a necessary thing, and it might sound ironic that when I first started, I was saying that I want to have control over the time, to spend with my family. But why is it that I'm spending so much time upfront, at the start of my career? So it's a necessary in anything. This is really what we believe in. It takes hard work for you to lay the foundations, for you to reap the benefits later on. So, and today, a lot of advisors in the team, we are at the stage where we continue to really put in a lot of time to do our work, but the work just get a bit easier and a bit easier. Okay, so be uncomfortable. This is something that you need to really adopt. By being uncomfortable, it means getting out of a comfort zone, just like what I did, giving up my 6-figure paycheck and then starting from scratch, putting myself out there, to face rejections, to really share with people what the conviction that I have in this career. Okay, you also need to have a lot of patience. Okay, patience, because people do need time and space to decide on whether to take up your advice, right? So just like a lot of my friends, some of my friends, they actually took a while before they actually come back to me to take up my advice. Consistency and discipline. And last but not least, finding the right partners. Okay, I can't emphasize enough on this part, because this is where you're going to be working with a team where the partners really matters. This is the team of partners that that is going to build you up, to strengthen you, to encourage you, to spur you on. Okay, in Phillip, we're also very thankful for partnership team, Joshua, Jasmine, and the whole team of partnership support that we get from them. They are they have done tremendous lots of work in terms of marketing our services, branding us, putting our presence on social media and all that. So in addition to the support from partnership support team, of course, the right partners, my team, we are committed to help the right advisor, the new advisors, establish themselves in this business. Okay, so now the reason why I'm speaking here, of course, is because I believe we can be your right partner in this shared journey. So we are committed to your growth, but we are also mindful that, mindful about how we should be helping any advisor who is keen to join us in this growth journey. So most importantly, we believe in teaching, aspiring advisors the how and the where to look for opportunities. It's just like teaching you how to fish, so that you can actually feed yourself for a lifetime, right? So how do we do that? Essentially, if for someone joining us, Okay, I'm referring to those newer advisors, less experienced advisors. So if you're joining us, you'll go through a bootstrapping process where the whole objective is really to help you to be able to self-sustain after an average of about 90-day period. So this actually aligns very well with what partnership team is rolling out as well. Okay, so they do have their training program. So on top of that, as a team, we are also committed to collaborate, to partner with the partnership team to expand your journey further. So the two main areas that we focus on are skills and mindset, process and tools. Okay, so we do a lot of script, role plays, real case discussions about clients, clients' background and the kind of needs that they have. So, and most importantly, the referral craft. So now, if I perhaps did not really touch on this, but everyone in the team, the way we work is really through word of mouth. And in any business, the word of mouth is perhaps the best, the best approach to really building a business. So we focus a lot on that. Okay, in referral craft, we focus on proactively asking for referrals. So it is, I think, especially important for someone who's new in the business, because this is going to be the one that will bring you, to many hops away from the first person that you started with. Okay. So we also cover some of these things, financial planning methodology, investment framework, and just to give you a sense of, some of the tools. Now, I was an engineer, right, computer scientist and all that. So over the years, I've actually developed quite a number of tools, and some of them are in collaboration with Ken, taking in his inputs. So these tools are kind of like tried and tested, and and it's deemed very useful, to set the context for more meaningful conversations with clients, around their concerns, their financial situation, and as well as the necessary steps to bring them to their desired financial objective. So we also have personalized performance analytics reports like this, for clients' investment portfolio. These are specific to clients. It's not a generic fact sheet. It's important to have this so they can have a conversation with with clients to talk about their investment performance and whether they're on track to meet their financial objectives. So we also have portfolio management tools. This is perhaps one of the most effective tools that anybody who wants to scale their investment advisory business will appreciate, right? So imagine if you're managing hundreds of clients' portfolios, how are you going to be able to look across all these different portfolios in a very efficient way so that you can actually manage their portfolios well. So this is the tool that we'll be equipping advisors with. So that's the end of my presentation. So I welcome you to join us on an adventure. Yeah, so over to you, Joshua.
Thank you, Zac, for the very insightful sharing. I love it. We saw your passion and then felt your sincerity as well. Audience here tonight, I'm so sorry, we slightly overrun, so I'm just going to pick up one or two questions to actually pose to Zac so that we can actually conclude early and as well. So if you have any other questions that I've not covered here tonight, please feel free to reach out to Zac here, or you can also reach out to PhillipCapital partnership team. Later we will flash out our details as well. You can find us on Facebook as well, Phillip Wealth Advisory. So very quickly, let me go straight to this, Zac. What are the qualities that you are actually looking out for in a candidate to join your team?
Right. Okay. So yeah, so that's a good question. Also, I covered some of these things, right? So the qualities of the candidate, we're not looking for somebody with a lot of experience and all that, but I think most importantly, the person who wants to come in, whether it's to join my team or not, it's really to have that purpose, the passion and conviction in what you intend to do, right? And whoever is considering joining this industry needs to be prepared, to put in the hard work, to be uncomfortable, okay, and to have the patience as well, because sometimes the road, the journey can be very it can be discouraging. Okay, and that is why having the right partners is very important to really guide you through in this journey, and having that consistency and discipline as well. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think I would think it would. So for the last question for the night audience, anything, just feel free to look for Zac or partnership team from Phillip. I know you shared a glimpse of the things that your team do as well, but what's unique about your team, that makes people want to join you?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's really about that belief in doing the right things for clients. I think all of us in the team, this is what one of the shared values that we have is really to do the right things for clients. Yeah. And sorry, Joshua, do you mind if you just repeat the question again? I just want to make sure that I get it.
Okay. What is unique about your team that makes people want to join you?
Okay, what is unique about the team? Yeah, so I think you can see from the presentation that the team actually we have a very experienced and highly qualified team members, who are prepared to really do the right things, to be the right partners with anybody who show that commitment to their own growth story and who wants to be part of this journey with us, right? So at the end of the day, one of the things that we really hope to achieve is to be able to be right partners to our clients, for the generations to come. And that will mean, it doesn't, the journey will continue even beyond Ken, beyond myself, beyond Brian, or the younger advisors. So that is really what we are hoping to, to achieve, to build and strengthen a community of like-minded advisors to continue this journey to be the right partners for our clients.
Thank you for sharing, Zac. Zac, don't mind, can you please unshare? I would like to flesh out the contact details because we come to the end of the session. Let me quickly pull out the contact details over here. Okay, for the audience here tonight, we've come to the, we've overrun slightly, we've come to the end of the session. This will be the contact details of Zac and myself. And if you want to drop an email, feel free to drop the email here. You can do a screen capture over here for the contact details. Zac has a lot more to share. He just showed a glimpse of what their partners are doing, but more importantly, I think he has actually displayed a very strong passion and sincerity here today, and he has displayed a very good team of a highly decorated team of diverse backgrounds and finance related, a strong team, and more importantly, the right partners for you to join. So thank you very much, Zac, for your sharing. Audience, thank you for staying. I think almost all of you stay here throughout the night. So thank you. I think it's a very captivating sharing. You'd like to actually connect more with Zac, do feel free to reach out to him. If you'd like to connect to Zac through us, just feel free to connect to us as well. So till next time, Zac, thank you for sharing, and audience, maybe think through what is the purpose-driven success or path that you'd like to take from here henceforth, and then we will see you next time. That's all. Good night to you.
Thank you very much,
audience. Okay, thank you, Zac.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.